Hi, I'm Greg from RVHaulers. I have a guest today. We just arrived from the airport, and I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Jack Mayer.
Well, it was quite the trip here. Took all day. Started at 4 a.m. and it's now probably about 4 o'clock. We're close to it. And we're going to start the truck for the first time. Let's see if it starts in this cold Calgary weather. There she goes. Air is low. Oh, it was smart enough to kick up the RPMs by itself. So the transmission low air supply light is on, or warning is on. That'll kick up shortly.
He likes to see 90 psi before the transmission will engage.
Right, we're about 70 now and it's building. So I expect to see that go out in just 30 seconds or so. It's building up pretty fast, as it should. I haven't kicked the RPM up at all. It's just doing its own thing. These new trucks are pretty smart, so they know what's going on. We have a full tank of fuel here, enough to get me home, which is 2,100 miles, a little bit more. And it's telling me we have freezing conditions, 25 degrees, 26 degrees. And I'm going to see a lot of that for the next few days. So we're good to go now. Got about 100 psi in both tanks. It's all looking very good. This truck, even though we're in winter conditions, this truck is so clean outside. You know, more clean than you would expect it to be given the conditions. The D16 sounds a lot different than the smaller engines. You can really feel that low grade, real power feeling to it. You hear it in the rumble. So you're right, it sounds different than the small engines.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can figure out this I shift. So this is the Model 2 I shift, the advanced I shift. It's got the economy and the power mode on it, which is the one you want. That's an option. So we'll just put it into drive, which is indicated on the display. And we're in Eco Roll. Eco Roll is on. Eco Roll is the ability to, when you're going down the hill, the transmission will go into neutral, which if you're driving a manual you would never want to do, but in fact it's against the law to do that in the States. But this transmission is smart enough, it does it on its own, and it takes care of you when it does it. So let's see if we can drive this sucker. So this is the first drive of this truck for me. Greg's driven it quite a bit over the last few days, or last few weeks as he's worked on it.
Probably the best way to go, Jack, is to the left.
That's what I was thinking. So it didn't feel like I spun the wheels coming out of Greg's drive, which was all snow and ice. I might have spun them a little. I didn't really press on it that hard. We're on a graded dirt road, gravel road. No snow on it, but there's snow all around us. The thing about these new trucks in these big engines is, these Volvo engines in particular, they run at such low RPM. I mean, they like to run way under 1500 RPM. And they have so much torque that they'll just pull in that low torque range, in that low RPM range. So it's pretty incredible. It's a lot different than the older trucks and the older engines. They just bear down and do their thing, especially these D16s. So you might say, why do you need a D16 for an RVHauler? Well, you can never have too much torque, and you can never have too much horsepower. And for the most part, if you're not using the horsepower, you're not getting a penalty imposed on you for fuel. If you get your foot into it a lot, yeah, you're going to use more fuel. But if you're not using it, for the most part, you're not abusing your miles per gallon too much. So we're going to do a U-turn down here.
If you want, we can go right.
We can go right, go around the block.
Let's go right at the stop sign.
We can do that. So this truck is single to the mid, meaning it's not short singled or long singled. It's right in the middle, so it retains its original wheelbase of 230. And the reason why we did that was because I want to put a smart loader on here. So the smart is going to be carried on the back of this deck once we build the deck. And I really needed the wheelbase to do that with. Otherwise, I would have done a short single on it, and the wheelbase would have been, well, 230 minus 26, whatever that works out to be. So I'm driving 90 kilometers an hour on a 100 kilometer an hour highway. About to hit 100 now. I'm now going 100 kilometers an hour, 62 miles an hour, and we're pulling. Well, we're in 12th gear, and we're pulling about 1350 RPM.
Can anybody tell if Jack is smiling yet? Can you see it from any? Oh, I saw it.
Yeah, this is a nice truck. I think we're going to enjoy having it. And the main thing for us is we wanted a truck that had more cab space in it than our current 610 does, because we do take it out and take it for trips and live in it for a while. We'll hook the Jeep up to it and go pull it someplace. We'll do that a lot more now that we have the bigger Honda. And of course, when I go someplace, sometimes I go someplace alone and go to New Horizons and do some work or elsewhere, then I can live in the truck very easily in this truck. Whereas it's a little stretch for the 610. Just cruising around the Calgary countryside. We're quite a bit out of town. I'm surprised there's not more snow on the road. You were right?
Sure. Do a little Huey here.
Just go back towards your place? Is that the way we came in?
Probably do a Huey around that stop sign.
Okay.
We'll show off the turning radius.
Well, I don't know about a 230-inch wheelbase, what the turning radius is. The main thing is, you don't have to clutch when you're going down this low.
So what do you think? That did pretty good, eh?
That did all right. I'm surprised it did as well, actually. Okay, you have to remember that I'm used to driving. My truck now is a Volvo 610, and it's got a 182-inch wheelbase. So it's quite a bit shorter than this. And it's a remarkable turner. It will go in and out of places that a pickup truck could never go in and out of. I won't be doing that as much with this, although with this wheel cut on these Volvos, you can still do pretty good maneuvering. But the longer wheelbase will make a difference. A lot of people claim that a longer wheelbase gives you a better ride. I don't find that to be true when it's single. In fact, I don't notice much difference between my 182-inch wheelbase and even a tandem 230 type wheelbase. I guess there's a difference, but I don't really notice it. The trucks ride very well as they are, whether they're single or they're tandem. The other thing about these later model Volvos is a lot of them are spec'd with air ride suspension on the front, and it is a different feel than a straight spring suspension on the front. The airbags do make it feel like it's drifting around a little bit more than a tight spring truck, but it does improve the ride quite a bit too. So overall, I think it's a feature worth having. I like it. I happen to like it. A lot of people don't like it and say they don't like it, but I like it. Back from the first test drive. We're back in there next to the red one, or by the red one. And, that'll be the end of the first test drive. Okay, that's it. I shift is the cat's meow. End of the first ride. Great truck. Really, really nice. Couldn't ask for more than this. What else could you ask for?
I'm glad you're happy.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Yep, it's a nice truck. Very clean. Very clean. You know, it's amazing. You have somebody that lives in this truck for, 3 years, basically, and they kept it very well. I mean, it's really not show much wear on it. I mean, it's a little bit of normal wear, but not much at all.
Well, Jack, what did you see outside? How did things look to you out there when we did the walkabout first?
Oh, the truck is spotless. I mean, for a truck of this vintage and this mileage on it, it's absolutely spotless. It's a beautiful truck. The guy took good care of the exterior. It's not beat up. Doesn't have a lot of dings. Doesn't have a lot of scrapes. Doesn't have hardly any. It's got nice trim on it. Nice light detail and stuff. He added a lot of extra stuff to it. Everything's cleaned up spotlessly. It's a great truck.
How did things look on the frame out back when you did a lookabout?
Usually when you see a truck like this, the frame is all rusted and flaky, and it's just the nature of the beast. That's they're working trucks. That's what happens to them. And a driver isn't gonna, even if he's an owner operator, isn't gonna typically keep that in very good shape. And it really doesn't hurt it to be rusty like that. It's not going to degrade the performance of the truck unless it gets out of hand. But this is spotless, especially with that box liner on it. That stuff is really nice. Perfect job on it.
Great.
Everything is coated properly. The lines aren't got stuff glopped all over them or anything. So you obviously took good care of putting that on.
Great.
And the new airlines and everything back there look good. Everything looks good. The singling was done, as far as I can tell, perfectly.
How did the engine look on your inspection? Did you see anything that
there is nothing.
Caught your eye?
I mean, the engine is nice and dry, clean looking. All the hoses look good. All the wires look good. There's nothing rubbing. Everything's separated properly. Everything looks good.
Well, Jack, we worked pretty hard on this truck for you, and I'm glad
I know you did. I know you did.
I'm glad you're smiling, but you know what? This is what I love to do. I've met some of the neatest people in this business, and what's awesome about this is when people arrive, they're happy.
Right.
I'm dealing with people that are going on holidays and going camping or going full-timing or retiring or spending time with their families. And these trucks help make those holidays special. And those trips special.
The ability to travel long distance in these comfortably and pull any kind of load, carry any kind of deck cargo that you really want to configure the truck to carry, everything from large cars to ATVs. We're going to carry a smart car on it. Have lots of storage space if you want to build a hauler bed on it, or just a flatbed if you don't want to spend the money on a hauler bed. That gives you flexibility that you can't get any other way. And you can cantilever the hitch out as far as you want to on these. You can single them if you want better maneuverability. And less overall maintenance cost in the long term, or you can leave them tandem if you want the weight carrying capacity. If you're going to put a full-size vehicle on it, you want to leave them tandem. So they're a very flexible vehicle, and they're not that expensive, for what you get. So it's definitely something that more and more people are doing.
Well, Jack, I was honored that you picked us to convert your truck. Thank you.
Thank you. Great job. I'm very pleased with the truck. You couldn't ask for more than what you did on this truck. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for the compliment, Jack.
Yep.